Welcome back to Ted Draws Dungeons. Today I'm going to continue on with the Dwarven Citadel. So this is going to be level 3. So I'm working off this old map here. Once again, we're going to have to bring the vent stacks from the forge down. So I'm going to just start by roughing in over here. All right, I'm going to move this die out of the way here. Just kind of slide those guys over there. Now the thing is here, these are 3 across, but we're getting lower into some more destruction. So this is the point where these are really, there's not much of this room left here now. I'm actually going to destroy 2 of the stacks and leave 1 open. So 1, 2, 3, that should be here. So right here, I'm just going to put a dot for now. That's where the last remaining stack is going to go. The reason I put that dot there is I'm going to put a circle around, darken it in, and that's going to be the last remaining stack. It's difficult when you get down to different levels and you have to make sure that they all connect. What I'm trying to achieve here is basically total devastation, except for one little area. This is a lot of fun. Pow, 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 pow. This is just going to be a wasted mist. That was fun. Yeah, the collapse here, what I'm going to do is through this rubble, this is going to be cool. When this collapsed, something came in and made it its nest. Now what I have to do is be careful about the stairs that are up here. The stairs right here have to match down here, so I go out and just really get crazy here and go into little pockets of that's great. So right here we're going to have like this little pit that goes down. Yeah, that's right, the bottom corner comes over. Okay, so from here we're going to come over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 over. It's difficult when you're doing collapsed dungeons. The reason it's difficult is if you have levels in that collapse, you've got to be aware of where the rubble goes on each level. And sometimes, you know, you have to take into consideration also which way does the rubble collapse in. Is it an explosion that went out, or is it some kind of an implosion that brought things down? And in this case, it's a little bit of both, I think. But maybe it was an upheaval up and then brought everything down. So a lot of the blast from whatever happened kind of pushed everything, churned it, and brought it back down. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so this is going to be smaller here, and this is going to be the larger. We're going to go larger, smaller, 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 like this until we get to the bottom. And what that does is that indicates, of course, in my dungeons, the smallest side on the stairway is the lowest level. So these stairs go up because from here, we're going to start coming out like this thing. Hey, look, I rolled a 20. So I'm pretty much wide open now. I'm down into the level where there's probably going to be maybe some kind of living areas. Maybe. The nice thing, I see things in my head and I design that way, but I don't want to pass them on with any of my indications. I want people who, you know, the dungeon masters, gamers who come into these dungeons to not have to worry about that. So then they can create whatever they want. We've got one other staircase over here. I want to take a closer look at this too, because this is going to be this like this. block this in real quick. I'm gonna go small, bigger, bigger, big. Okay, now I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want. Now, we also have to take into consideration that there is some devastation right here. So a lot of the center of this is going to be gone. But we've got areas down here. I know what I'm going to do. So ordinarily there'd be a tunnel, I think, over here. This is what I'm going to say. Over here, yeah, I'm going to put like a corridor, and I'm going to make it pretty large, but I'm going to chop it up again. And then, of course, all of this is just choked with rubble. And the interesting thing here is this staircase collapsed a little bit here, but then came over. So you've still got room over here. And it's got a little bit, maybe, of more devastation that comes this way. Bust off here. We can't go much further this way, so we're going to stop this. But we're going to put a hallway here. And then this, I'm going to do something interesting here. See what I did? Haha! Now when I put all the rubble in, when people come down here, they might think this is all blocked. The rest of this from the devastation up top isn't even, you can't even get to it. But now what I'm going to do is this big corridor here that leads over is going to go to here. And then I'm going to come into an area that looks like this. I like this. I don't even know what I'm building right now. I'm just kind of making rooms. But I think I have something in mind at least. Yeah. My neighbor's back from wherever he went. He's a salesman. I think he has to travel every now and then. But he's back, and he's upstairs because I can hear him. He hasn't been stomping around quite as much, so maybe that's a good thing. It's hard. It's hard because our apartments are stompable, I guess you could say. It's really easy to just walk across these wooden floors and make a whole bunch of noise, which he does. I don't think he's doing it on purpose. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do it sometimes. I can imagine what it sounds like below me with my cane. Yeah, this is good, this is good. So what we're gonna have here is a branch. This is gonna branch off a little bit. I'm getting close to the edge, so I don't wanna go too far, but what I wanna do is, like, if this were an area where people had, like, sleeping quarters or whatever you wanna call it, I don't imagine they'd wanna be on top of one another. Maybe they would. Maybe they would. Makes you think about what kind of dwarves, how intellectual were they? Or did they have barracks? I'm thinking they had both. They both had chambers and barracks. So you had the more elite that had their spots. Maybe those are around the perimeter down here. And then that's why there's a split, because all the the barracks over here are what got pretty much devastated. So I gotta take this out. I know what I'll do. I'll bring this up to here and like this. Then we're gonna have a room that goes this way and this way. And then over here is just blah, 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 blah. But back over here, we've actually got maybe one of these actually survived. Then that goes 2 over. And then there's a hallway that goes back this way. And then blah, 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 blah. Just destroyed. I like that. I like that. That'll work. Okay. So on here, yeah, this is going to be... Interesting thing about this is there's so much blown out of the center of this that it makes you, wonder what would have been there versus what still exists. So that's where it gets kind of tricky. But I like doing these. I really like doing these. I'm going to put something in the center here too, like this. Just like that. Only because we're kind of close quartered now, which is fine. But, generally speaking, architecturally, you want things to kind of match. You don't have to match anything when you do caves. That's why caves are so fun. But something like this. Now these blocks in the center here are basically mountain pillars holding up the mountain, whatever. So I'm just kind of right away going to do this. So I don't get tempted to make rooms out of them. Because that wouldn't work. Structurally speaking, for any of this to work, it's got to have a lot of support holding up the upper levels. Boom, boom, boom. So there'd be a hallway over here. Yeah. What I can do is this. I'm gonna go pretty close. Over to here and over to here. And this is gonna be a special room. So a more elite person. I'm gonna put a stairway here. Just to make things interesting. And then we'll bring this back over here like this. I think there would have been a hallway here going this way to whatever, but that's also gone. Okay, that's good. That's good. Nice thing about a collapse is when you're designing it, you don't have to go very far before you're done. So now I can kind of jump right into, I think before I do any of the doors or anything, I'm gonna do some stippling. Let's do some stippling. Take out my Faber-Castells. Don't want that yet. Well, maybe that. But, want my medium? Here's my medium. Medium. There it is. That F, I'm gonna be wanting that F, because I don't know what that stands for, but F is really, it's like this big fat tip. Maybe it's fat, but it does great. So I'm gonna go with the medium and the small to start with. Actually, the medium's the biggest. So, okay. Again, like the measurements on this, they don't really match this scale because this scale is so small. I'm just taking a quick look here, make sure I don't fill anything in. Okay, that's gonna be a room, that's gonna be a room. So these are the ones. I'm just quickly gonna do this. Because these are interior. Remember, I always scale everything down with even the way I'm doing this because it's an interior surface. And if I did the same scale that I did around the perimeter, it would just swamp this whole little block that's in here. So I'm just gonna go like this. Yeah, so later on we'll go in and fill in those lines and then we'll start the stippling out. But I wanna get hopping on this here because this is gonna be a little bit different now. And as I'm drawing, I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this center, because on the second level down, I've got a big black gap in the center, and I think I want to echo that here too. So that said, I don't want, what I can do here is see this is going to be, whoops, this is going to be pretty much standard here because these stairs are still kind of intact here. I'm going to come down like this. And then from here on, I got to kind of make a determination, and also over here. So for now, I'm just going to bring this over quickly. Like this. Yeah, that'll work. This portion is pretty much still left. Nothing really messed in here. So, be careful there, because that's where the rubble came down. And the walls came down. They stood there laughing when the walls came down. And there ain't no heroes. And there ain't no saints. Just government weirdos playing with tanks. I know that's not how it goes, but I don't care. That's my version. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. All right, this over here, not a whole lot to do. We're just going to bring this out like this. We got some serious stippling ahead of us, because for some reason on this dungeon, I went crazy with the stippling, so but that's okay. I mean, stippling is fun. It's a lot of fun. But when you stipple broken pieces like this, it's a little bit harder, because it's not just a straight line. You've got to mirror somewhat what you're drawing or stippling. And then also on the other side of the line that I'm doing right now, I've got to keep that, I've got to kind of honor that, because otherwise it'll just look, you know, I'll just, all these nice little edges and everything, I'll just erase by drawing over it. And I'll show you what I mean here. So I'll start over here. See how this is kind of jaggedy, but I can't just draw a line. I have to follow it. I'm gonna get it bigger. Where's my big? Where's Fatty? Fatty. Here he is. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. That's pretty big. Okay, I'm gonna come in here with this one. And instead of just drawing, because normally when you draw, you move your arm and you wanna move your fingers. I'm gonna do almost a painting method on this. I got a little booger on there. Always be careful about that, because that'll ruin a map real quick. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of paint it in. And you can see I've got a lot of work ahead of me. And I don't need to be totally precise, but what I wanna do is cover up all the white spots. And truthfully, since these pens they don't slide as much, I wanna be really careful around this. I'm gonna more draw now, only because it's sticking on the paper a little bit. And that's my fault probably. This pad's kind of old. So I think what's going on is, well, that's really sucking in the ink too. So I'm just gonna draw. Yeah. It's exactly what's happening. It's just so old. Okay, I'll come around here. That's okay. It gives me a little bit more difficulty coming back. It's like an extra step, because now I have to be careful about this. Come down through here. And you know, I think I'm actually gonna go to my scribble method and do this. Just even go right over those lines. So yeah, what am I doing? I'm doing an old method. You guys already saw the scribble method. Let's do that. Let's take about 13 hours off this whole thing. Let's go like this. Come around here. And then this way, that'll get me stippling, and I'll come in at the last step. I might even use a Sharpie on that, because remember, these Faber-Castells do have a tendency to bleed. I can use the Sharpie. I can come in and I can do the edge work right on that edge. So, and again, I'm being like really precise here, and I can actually get pretty wild because there's a lot of stippling. If you see the stippling from the previous level, there's not much here. Gotta be really careful. I'm gonna define this a little bit more now while I'm in here. There, okay. The stippling on the previous level was pretty big. It's pretty big. So let's start. Let's start by, since we've got most of this down now, let's do the stippling around here. And then that'll probably be it for this video. I think from here, I'm not gonna do anything else. And I always say that, and then I start and I go, oops, look what I did it all. But I'm just gonna do the stippling here. And then when we come back, we'll finish the stippling here. And then we'll do the floor tiles in here. We'll get everything tidied up in this third level of the Dwarven Citadel. But for the remainder of the video, what I'm gonna do is just do all the stippling around here, and I'll speed it up. This way you guys can enjoy the music and enjoy the video and just watch everything. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, do me a favor and do it now. This way, there's a bell on there you can ring too that gives you notifications. And although this comes out every Wednesday, I wouldn't want you to miss anything. So, I mean, the notification, it's not like some annoying thing. I think it just comes to your email and says, hey, there's a new video. That's all it is. So, yeah, if you would like and subscribe, and thank you for, I mean, we're a very small channel right now. So I feel kind of special. You know, there's not a whole lot of you out there, which is no big deal. I mean, I'm really thankful for all the people that are here now. A couple of weeks, we do have the book coming out, which is Dungeon in a Day. So look for that on Drive-Thru RPG, and I'll put the link below to the site. And then hopefully in the next video, I can say, hey, here's the link that goes straight to my book. And then you guys can go straight over there. So, okay, I'm gonna speed all this up from here. Thank you again, and I'll see you next week.